Now we will be looking at data types before we get into creating tables. So in SQL Server, columns, variables, and parameters, they're all associated with specific data types. So a data type defines the nature of data that these elements can hold, whether it's an integer or it's a character or it's a string or it's a monetary value or sometimes it's date and time. So SQL Server just offers a comprehensive array of data types to cover the full spectrum of data that you might need to store, whether you're dealing with a table, column, or maybe declaring a variable. So it does support a wide range of data types that allow you to store various types of information in your database. And then these data types, they can broadly be categorized into several groups, each serving a specific type of data. So now let's look at these different groups. First, we're going to start with the exact numbers, exact numbers or numerics rather, if I may call it that way, numerics. Exact numerics. So first, I'm just going to copy and paste this. This is usually quite a lot of typing. I do not like typing. Okay, I just want to make this a bit wider so that I can paste. All right. Let's just make this a little bit smaller. So on exact numerics, maybe we'll bold this one. I think it's just bolding everything. So on exact numerics, we've got a bit, which is an integer type, data type that can take a value of 1 or 0 or null. Okay, so we've got a bit, it's an integer type that can take a 0 or a 1 or a null. Then we've got a tiny int that stores the whole numbers from 0 to 255. And then we've got a small int, it stores whole numbers from negative 32,000 768 to 32,767. Then we've got an int that stores in a whole number from a negative, I think that's over 2 billion or 2 trillion, I don't know. You'll figure it out. So that's a huge number. I mean, if you look at it, it's unpronounceable, right? So that's an integer. So whenever we use an int in a data type, that means we can store up to that amount of numerics. And then we've got a big int that stores whole numbers from that long, very long number. So it's a big number also, that one, to that big number. It's unpronounceable. I don't think there's a pronunciation for that number. And then numeric and decimal, they store exact numerical data with fixed precision and scale, right? And then small money, those are current data type that can store monetary values. And then we've got here on, so these are exact numbers. I'm just going to move this out of the way. And then we also have the approximate numbers, approximate numerics, numerics. So on approximate numerics, we've got float. So float, it actually stores double precision, double precision floating point values, point values. Excuse my spelling. Double precision floating point. To say point here. All right, maybe we make this wider so that we can have more space there. And then we've got real. So this stores a single precision, floating point um, point values. Again, let's just fix the spelling precision. All right. Then we move to date and time. Again, let me just zoom out a little bit. Just put this here. Then we have date and time. Just gonna put it somewhere here. Date and time. So on date and time, I'm just gonna again copy this. Now, date and time, we have the date. So we've got the date that stores in the format of a year, month, and a day. Okay, on date and time. Then we've got time. It actually stores time in the format of an hour, minutes, seconds, and nanoseconds. And then we've got date, date time, and small date time. It stores both date and time data. And then date time 2. It's an extension of date time with a larger date range, and it's more fractional seconds precision. And then we have a date time offset that stores date and time with a time zone offset as well. All right. Then we have character strings. Just gonna move this out of the way, or maybe somewhere here, so that I can have more space. Then we have a character strings. For character strings, I just wanna copy somewhere from my notes. Then let's just make this a let's move a little bit. All right. So on character strings, we've got char and nchar. So it stores fixed length character data, and then nchar stores a Unicode data, and then varchar and nvarchar stores variable length character data. So nvarchar stores Unicode data, and then we've got text and ntext. That's a large object data type for storing large volumes of character data. So these are actually deprecated. So in Server 2019, actually from SQL Server 2016-2019. So they're deprecated and they're replaced by varchar max and nvarchar max. Okay. And then from there we have binary strings. Again, let's just put, so we've got binary strings. So these types are for storing binary data, basically. So we've got binary and var binary. So that will store a fixed and variable length that binary data respectively. And then we've got image, a large object data type for storing large amount of binary data. So this also deprecated, and it's being replaced by a var binary max. And then we've got other data types. Just this will move out of the way. Other data types. We have a SQL variant. Let's just paste it in there. So we've got SQL variant that can just store various SQL supported data types, except for text and n-text or image and timestamp. Then we've got unique identifier. It just stores global unique identifier or GUID. We've got XML that stores XML data, and then we've got a table that stores a special data type that is used to store a result set for larger processing. And then you've got two other data types that we can know about, which is geometry and geometry that stores data based on Euclidean or flat coordinate system. And then we also have geography. So geography stores data based on a round earth coordinate system. So basically, this is just an overview rather that covers primary data types that is available on SQL Server, which is essential for defining the schema of your database or of your tables and ensuring the the correct type of data that is stored efficiently.